Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday, and of course every Tuesday we take a look at the performance of the main board for the New Zealand Stock Exchange. And before I jump across and share my screen, just remember that this is for educational purposes only, definitely not intended to be personalised financial advice. You do need to have a chat to your own financial advisor for that. Just before I do jump across as well though, we are the 23rd of June, so you've got until the 30th of June in order to make a contribution to your KiwiSaver of $1,043 for the entire year. This will then mean that you are entitled to receive the government's contribution of $260. This is great for people who are perhaps taking a break from the workforce for whatever reason. You can make that voluntary contribution and still get that tax contribution from the government as well. Really worthwhile having. It's a 25% return on your money after all. If you're not sure, just sing out, I'm happy to help. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the main board for the New Zealand Stock Exchange. Right, here we go. Look at this. Last week was another good positive candle. And you can see here we've got wicks either side. So we've got a wick at the top and that wick at the bottom being the tail. And if we zoom in a bit more, you can actually see that that tail at the bottom was slightly longer than the wick at the top. That is a good sign. It means that the buyers are out there, and naturally, because it's a green candle, the market closed higher than where it opened last week. So that, like I just said, is a really good sign for our market. If I look down the bottom here as well at that last candle for last week, a lot more volume happening. In fact, we had $270 million worth of shares traded last week. The week before, which was also a positive week, we had 151. So we've had a million traded. So basically about $120 more was traded last week than the week prior for the New Zealand Stock Exchange. So that is a great encouraging sign. Let's jump onto the 1 year chart and just see how that is looking. So by jumping onto the 1 year chart, it brings these candles up to dailies, and you can see here that on Friday, basically the market opened down here, which was at around 13,359, and it closed at 13,495. So basically it just headed up for the entire day last Friday, which is really good. And you can see by that volume down here, look at that volume, $131 million worth of shares traded on Friday alone versus Thursday where there was only 29.8. Now that is still a good sign. So even though we had 2 days last week where the market did sell off, the fact that that moving average, which is that red line I've got above the volume there, those volume was less than the moving average when the market came down. So that is actually a good sign. Where you see the good strong volume like this one here on Friday, like I said, we had it again back here at the 29th of May and again back on the 21st of May, where you see good strong candles that come above that moving average, that is a good positive sign. It's okay if it sells off and those volume bars are way less than the moving average. That is perfectly fine. Obviously, if those bars are higher and the market's selling off, that's a negative sign. But at the moment, we've got a lot of positivity happening there. So that is great to see. Let's go and put our moving averages on and just take a look. So I always use the 30 exponential, and I also like to use the 15 period moving average as well. Here we go. So we've got this on the daily chart, and you can see that those moving averages crossed at around the 27th, 28th of May to the upside, which is good. And the market's been trading pretty much above that since then on a daily basis. Just seen this little red candle pop in here, and that is for opening on Monday, because that's where I'm recording this. I'm recording this at about 20 past 10 on Monday, and this is delayed by about 20 minutes. Let's go on to the 5 year chart and take a look at that, because this is the main one that sets the scene as to what is really happening with the market. And you can see here that last week, those moving averages crossed to the upside, and that's something that we want to see. I did mention that last week, that hopefully if we had a positive week and those moving averages crossed back through, then that would definitely be a good positive sign for our market. And that's exactly what's happened. the thing that we want to see now is obviously this continuing. So for me at the moment, I'm still holding shares. I haven't been knocked out of any with the stop losses that I'm holding at the moment. And that is something that I'll continue to do. I did have a couple of my own shares last week that had good, strong runs, and I was able to increase those stop losses, but not looking at buying anything at the moment. Now, if I look down the bottom here, I've got the ATR as well, and that's the average true range or the average trading range. And that just gives me an idea of the volatility in the market. So you can see here, we've had quite a big dip just over the last 2 weeks. So that means that there's currently less volatility happening in the New Zealand market than what there has been previously. That too is a good sign because it basically indicates, so if I put it on that last sign there, you can see that it's sitting at about $275.30, which means on average, that's what you can expect the market to move in a week, in 1 week trading. Obviously, it's only working out an average. So there is times where it will have higher movements than that, and obviously times where there'll be lesser movements. But that too is another really good sign for our share market. I'll just stop sharing. I really hope that's helped. Let's hope that we can continue this up that we've seen in the last couple of weeks. And hopefully, who knows, I'd love to see the New Zealand market start making some new all-time highs again. It did reach that earlier this year, but it would be great to see us have some really good, strong performance and continue that rally on. Now, Thursday, I've been asked if I could do a review on Sky City, so that is what we're doing. Come back on Thursday, we'll take a look at the performance of that and hopefully help you with your share trading journey. Just remember, if you've got any questions, any comments, do reach out. I'm happy to help, happy to do videos and hopefully empower you to be a more confident trader. So until Thursday, take care.